Hi guys, I hope you all are fine. Today I want to teach you about how to connect Kubernetes master server from your local machine. For that you have to two things need to be configured in your local machine. One is the Cube Ctl command and another one is the authentications things. You need username and password of your master Kubernetes server. So for before that, why we need the master need to be connect from your local machine to your master Kubernetes server. Why we need these things? Actually, in production environment, as you know that we are uh, work from home right to nowadays, and let's suppose the one requirement come up from your developing and that they need a pod on your Kubernetes server. So what happened? You are working from home, and what happen, you will log in on start your computer and then connect to your data center, and after that you will connect with your Kubernetes server and then go and launch the pod over there. So your pod will be launched on your Kubernetes master server. So this is a long process, but why we don't have such mechanism that you just only launch the port from your local machine? So if you are working in your Windows environment, whatever your environment you are using as a local machine, so you just open your laptop and just connect to the Kubernetes server automatically. So for that you for me I for me here I have the my local machine is the Red Hat 8, and my Kubernetes server is working or running on the cloud, which is the outside the my machine which I am accessing. This is my Kubernetes server. You can see the Minikube status for the checking the Kubernetes server is running on that pod or not. So in uh, on my cloud server, I have installed the Minikube. So I want to be, this is my, let's suppose this is my local machine. So I want to connect from here to this my Kubernetes server. So how can we connect? So for connection, we need, you need the for authentication. So we in authentication we have two things. One is the username and password, or you go with the key based authentication. So normally programs will go for the key based authentication. So we will how to connect. So first of all, you have to install the kubectl command on the your local machine. So whatever your local machine, it may be on your Windows machine, or it may be on your Linux machine. So for here I have local machine is my Linux server. So for that installation, you can just go on Google and type the Cube Ctl or Minikube installation. So you can come up on the first link of the Minikube installation on your local machine. So you can just go on the first link and right click on that. So after that, you will see the kubectl command available on three available versions. So you can go installation of, install the Minikube. So you can go for that installation. So a Minikube installation, and after that you can see the kubectl command will be come up here. So for that you can see that here is a link of kubectl. So you can see the come up on the install tool and install the setup the kubectl command. For the Linux, you have to run this command, and you can find out the Windows as well. So it's not a exe file will be come up here for the installation of Windows. So you can install the kubectl command from over there. So let's start the scenario. So we want to connect our local machine to my kubectl. So right now I have kubectl command. So for that you have kubectl and version. So this is a version have been installed in my kubectl. So you can ignore the authentication because it's need the there is no server available right now. So I have to just check the kubectl get ports command. So it will be work or not. Let's see. Sorry, get ports. So there is no type of error come up. The server doesn't have the resources to type ports. So we haven't connected our local machine to our server. So for that we have go on the server side, and after that you will just see the whenever you the one thing is that whenever you install the Minikube Ctl Minikube installation in home directory, wherever you are installed your Minikube, whether it would be an a Linux server or it may be on Windows, so in your home directory. So for my home directory is this, so you just go one folder have been come up here with .minikube. So just go on that folder Minikube and just check the config file. So here is the config file. You can just create it. So there is the uh, my my client uh, client keys, authentications keys and client cert keys. This is our another topic of cryptography to connect the your so we just need copy these certificates. So whenever you are install your Minikube, just go on the home directory of your machine where you find the .cube folder, and in .cube folder you can go on the config file and you can see the path of your client certificate or certificate. So certificate means your username and password. You can say it here. So I have already copied these things, the root and the client key and the client cert key. So this is the path of to copy, and I have copied all the things in my local machine. So you can copy all the things in your local machine. So I have already created, so let's try to connect on connect the connect the Minikube server from your local machine. For that you have we know the our server path. So server is on running on my HTTPS protocol with the IP of my Minikube server is this with the port number 8443. So you can get this information from your server as well. So you can see here is the HTTPS protocol. So I just you can copy all this thing, or let's see. So I am just running on my local machine kubectl get ports from the server of this, and I want my client certificate is so my client certificate is client.crt, and after that you have to provide the client key. So at the end you can see the minus client key, the key you have copy from your server. So I have copy in my temp directory. So the client dot key, and then after in last you can certificate authority key. You need to tell your local machine that your Cube Ctl or your Minikube server is this, and the certificate or is entry of the file, or you can enter via this file with this key with this password on the behalf of this certificate authority. So just temp and .ca.cert. So let's say it's working or not. uh, so just writing so scrt. So I'm just getting the ports, so how many ports are running on my this machine. So I want to be connect from my local machine to remote machine. So it says the error. So where is the error? uh, Certificate. So now the error is the certificate was the error. So I just write the correct spell of the certificate. So just click and you can see my web one is running on my kubectl. So verify this from your this server come up kubectl get ports. So I'm just ports, and you can see the uh, ports will be come up here. So my web is running on my Kubernetes Minikube Kubernetes server. So let's see again, launch a one more port to how to run the port on the Kubernetes. So kubectl run my web, let's suppose 2, and with the minus minus image is Fayaz Linux slash Fayaz httpd v2. So is something missing? Yes, I have missed the equal sign. So now pod have been created. You can see the pod. My one more pod have been launched within a 1 second. You can see the my web pod too. So it's running on. These are things are running on my Minikube server. So let's check it's come up from your local machine or not. So it's come up, you can see. So now every time whenever you run this command, you have to run this thing with the parameter. So why we don't have to run or type these whole keywords or whole things in you while using the kubectl get ports or anything you need to be launched from your local machine. So we have to make a file which is uh, which should be on your .cube. So come and on the whenever you install the kubectl, it will be automatically created here. So come up here and then write the all the things in your. So for that I have already created in my config file. So for let me explain you my config file. So here is my config file. You can see the API version. It's a Kubernetes version. Kind is the what kind of this file is. It's a config file which is related to the Kubernetes clusters. Why we use the cluster? We can use this file for the multiple reason. One Kubernetes cluster is running on your this IP, and one another Kubernetes cluster on the running on AWS maybe. So you have one file with the multiple accounts. So for that I have only one cluster. So I am just writing for the one cluster. Here is the clusters. Then we have one cluster that is the server of my cluster. I have told you about before that. And you need the certificate authority. Authority means you have to it's to connect to your HTTPS server. So what the name of the cluster is Fayaz Linux. So it may be anyone. So you can write it. For you just enter your server name. So you need after that you need the username password. So username password I have created here users. So you have multiple user as well. So I have the one user, that is the username is Fayaz, and the user client key is the temp client dot key. I have already copied my client key, or you can see or you can see it's a like a password of my to enter the 21970. It's my to enter the my Minikube server. So here the client certificate as well. The temp client certificate is also over there. So this is the file. And one more, the context is here. What is the context is here? The context is here that whenever whenever I write the let's suppose kubectl let's suppose I just write kubectl get ports. Let's suppose it will show me my this server is running. So how can kubectl that know know to whom I will connect, whether I will go with the 21970 Minikube server or I will go another one like AWS Kubernetes server or not. So context will help variable help us on the in this scenario. So you can write the context here. The context will be cluster. My cluster name is Fayaz and user will be Fayaz. So you can there is no another user here. So we can by default it will take this one. So if you have multiple users over here, you have multiple environment of Kubernetes cluster, so you can write the one keyword is here, which is current, I believe, current context. So which one is the current context means by default current context. What will be your by default context? So if you have 10 usernames or 10 Minikube servers are in this file, so the current will be context will be the by default your server or your cluster name. So it will be connect with here with your Kubernetes server. So this is the example one for the those who have multiple Kubernetes servers or in their environment. So we can write it here. So you can copy all these things from your from your Minikube server and get the. So now the one file have been created here, which is the name right now. It's the name, it's too long, so I am just giving this IP name of config. So because kubectl always read the config file, not the config.backup and this thing. It will never read that. So it's always read the kubectl command, kubectl config file. So for that now, let's see it's working or not. So just kubectl get ports. I haven't written all the parameters in to check the ports. So before that we have to write all the parameter minus servers. We have to tell that where is the key, all the paths. Then they will go on that server, connect my master server and get the data from here and show me here. So I have just written in one file where I have stored all my credential here and you can now you can see the ports is come up. Only just type the kubectl get ports. Where is come from? It's come from your Minikube server. So here is there is no Minikube there is no Minikube server is installed is stopped here. Okay. So now this file is very critical. So you just copy this file in your pen drive, and whenever you are sitting in your area, or whether you are in your home or in your office, you have just installed that Cube Ctl in your local machine and copy this file on this path, on your home directory path. You can see for this uh, you can see the path right now. So this you can. So I hope you getting my point about the how to connect the kubectl how to connect the Kubernetes with your master server. So master server have there an API server is running over there, which is listening on HTTP protocol with the port number of 8443. So it will launch, or it will go from here to our master server. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you are like this video. If you have any question, you can feel free to ask me. Thank you, guys.